Combustion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. They running the game with my team making plays. Talking 80, my G's, wanting jewels in this place. Surrounded by dogs, keep the quarterback safe. I'm the one with the plans, they gon' do what I say. The game is not over, we don't celebrate in the end zone. We don't got no time in the wait. Ain't trying run down, we don't premeditate. We just go and get to it, we got them on skates. If the game going to overtime, kicking the overdrive, we gon' be first at the finish line. Play looking full, but I finish mine. Can I get second? We gon' line up like it's dinner time. We put in work till we get us a ring. Super Bowl season, we running the scene. Ain't trying to home of the realest that breathe. Keep your face down when you talk to the king.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is your boy AD, and I got my co-host in the building. We got Clayton and Jules for another episode of the H-Town Rundown. This is an emergency pod, man. Like, we had some breaking news that happened today. You know, a couple signings, but, you know, nothing like the great news that we heard today. Clayton, you know what happened today?
Of course I do. A few things happened today. You have the
you know what happened?
The Texans Rangers, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know that was great. Yeah,
that one too.
Know. But you know, Jules, you know what happened?
I do.
Already, man. Definitely the Houston Texans, and Julius already know, man. The Houston Texans brought back former number 1 overall pick, former All-Pro, former Pro Bowl player for the Houston Texans, Jadeveon Clowney, or aka JD Clowney, is back with the Houston Texans. Signed a 1-year, $5.5 million deal with incentives up to $8 million. News was broken by multiple sources across the NFL, and it was confirmed by his agent as well. That he is back in Houston. Clowney has been wanting to come back to Houston for years, and the opportunity never, fit, never felt right. But Houston Texans on the Super Bowl journey.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that was the deciding factors, that he wants to be 1 at home, and 2, he wanted to play for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Houstonian.
Mm-hmm. So I want to get y'all initial thoughts on the JD Clowney news. Jules, you'll go last because you know, I know you're super hype about it. But Clayton, what are your initial thoughts about Clowney?
Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Jadeveon Clowney. Talking about JD Clowney, who just last year, y'all, was top 5 in quarterback pressure rate, 18.1%, 33 years old. 8.5 sacks, which is third most in his career in a single season. Man only played about 46% of the snaps. So you mean to tell me he's a top 5 quarterback pressure player and only has to play half the time that your best player probably does? And you add that guy into a rotation where the Texans were hunting for a third defensive end. We done theorized guys from Von Miller to JD Clowney to Cam Jordan and the like. And we just kept kind of coming back to Clowney, not just because of the fit, not just because of nostalgia, but the money seemed about right. Less than $10 million. That's a Nick Caserio special right there. And he just fits what you want to do. So for me, as soon as I saw it, it was if you're an opposing quarterback, if you're Josh Allen right now, what do you feel? You're Joe Brady. What do you feel? You get no break. What break do you get here? That's what I thought. That was the first thing I thought.
I'm gonna go. Hold on. Imagine if this was the first year Clowney even hit. Man.
And you can see it though. You could see it because when I'm sorry, I'm stepping on y'all, but like when Clowney was here, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get to this, like the knock against him for years was, he wasn't converting the raw sacks. Like he wasn't that guy like that compared to Khalil and Aaron Donald, stuff like that. But again, he was always a run stopper, pressure guy. This kind of defense right now where you got Daniil and Will already taking most of the double teams and whatever the case may be, all Clowney got to do is finish. That's it. And he can get you a good old Jason Kidd type of sack season. Get you 10. Not 11, not 12. Just get 10. And that's it. Because his other teammates are doing all the work for him. So this is the perfect time to really accentuate his strengths. So yeah, definitely you can see that this being the first season of him hitting double-digit sacks. Excuse me. Absolutely. Game face. All right, but Jules, man, what you got though, man?
Well, y'all know I'm biased 100%. You know, I'm always been a Clowney defender. I've
No,
been a
we ain't,
Clown.
no, 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 no,
Oh,
no, no,
I'm
no,
sorry, you blacked out.
No?
I'll
Oh,
go and wait.
no, no,
hey,
no, no. We
hey.
ain't gonna let Jules go. No, not when I. Um. So
Oh,
first of all, um,
that was funny.
uh,
Like, oh, not too much dip on your chip. Wait.
Jules.
Hey, you had blacked out. The man called my name. I was about to say, well, let me go.
Yeah.
Let Booby spin.
uh, now, first of all, dog, do you know how excited I am about this signing? I've been talking about, signing that third DN. We've been talking about it all summer, really, about
Mm-hmm.
the depth of the Texans and Texans bringing in who's going to be the third DN. Are we bringing back Derek Barnett? This, and that. And we've been talking about J.D. Clowney and Von Miller, consistently, for the whole summer. And, me and Jules talked about it. Clay and I talked about it too. And I told you, what was talked about and what was discussed and what I heard from, certain people is that Clowney's been wanting to come home. And, the situation was what it was. And, we had the situation where Aaron Wilson said on his live, there's no interest from the Texans in J.D. Clowney. And then the next few hours, the next day, he goes back and says, oh, the Texans and J.D. Clowney have mutual interests along with the teams. And it was already known that, Clowney, wanted to be a part of this Houston Texan team. I told you, Clayton, that he had offers with more money, right? And, it'll be reported soon, but Cleveland offered him $11 million, no incentives.
Dang. Just straight 11.
So
Cash.
straight 11.
Straight cash, homie.
Straight cash, homie.
And no, to your credit, you did say it. You said if it comes down to numbers, like, we kind of talked about that. So
Yeah. That's, a good chunk of change that he left on the table to come play at home and to play in a situation where he feels like he can capitalize and continue his career and chase a Super Bowl. J.D. Clowney brings so much to the table as far as allowing Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter to get rest. You won't have a drastic drop-off like you had in the past if Will Anderson or Danielle Hunter, knock on wood, knock on glass, knock on metal, knock on everything, if they were to get hurt, he is a valuable replacement. There you go. So it's just the point that I really love the signing because it's exactly what this defense needed, which was one of the biggest questions on the defense, which didn't have many questions at all, was what do you do as a reserve, defensive end, because we weren't bringing back Derek Barnett. And I took from the tea leaves when, what's the DC's name? I said it on my live. I keep forgetting his name.
Burke.
Yeah, Matt Burke. When Matt Burke got out and said, oh, to kind of summarize what he's saying, basically we've moved on from Derek Barnett. We're trying to find Derek Barnett's replacement. When that came out, I was like, oh, we're definitely signing Clowney. In my mind, that was the point. Like, we got to get Clowney now. If you put it out there that we're moving on from, we're moving on from doggone Derek Barnett, I was like, okay, so that means you found an upgrade. Found an upgrade. So, and like Brandon said again, the Logan Hall of it all, you see him replacing the Autry. You've gotten younger at these positions as well. Game Fit said I can see Clowney playing another 3 years with the Texans. I mean, I'm not so sure about that because we can have and Jules, I'll let you go after this. We can have a situation when Texans win the Super Bowl. J.D. Clowney may say, I'm out. So
I got $110 million in my career.
Yeah,
I can go.
Yeah, I'm good. I got my money. I got my ring. I'm good to go. But I feel like this is one of those shot in the arm. And I tried to make a comparison on the spaces earlier. I was like, I said the LeBron to Philly thing, but that's a little, they kind of calm it down. It's a little too far.
Yeah.
But they were saying it is similar to like Ray Allen joining the Heat.
Right.
Okay.
You know, who already have LeBron and Chris Bosh and D Wade,
Yeah.
and then you add Ray Allen to the fold, coming from
Yeah.
Boston when they just won a championship. Now you add Clowney to this fold, and you already got Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, who Clayton you saw with our own eyes, and we'll talk about the training camp yesterday. Like those two are on a mission, and those two are going to be
Boy,
relentless
hungry.
demons. You
Look
know,
like
so
dogs after just strips of bacon. Just
so.
goodness.
But needless to say, I'm a passage of Jules. Go ahead and go off. I'm gonna single you out, brother.
This man got a sword.
Yeah, he got a sword, man.
Man, let me get my body out the way. I'm no Clowney number one fan in Houston for a long time. I was scouting a kid when he was in high school. I scouted when he was in college. I've always been a big component of Clowney. I've always defended Clowney when he got injured, he got hurt, and he never got to the sack numbers looking for. I've always said that the Texans are partially blamed for him not meeting his expectations and his potentials. But with all that being said, as a big fan of Clowney, I'm not getting Clowney of 2014. I'm not expecting 2014 Clowney. I'm not here saying, "Oh, we this is this." I'm expecting the best third defensive end in the business, and it's available at this point. That's what I'm hyped about. I'm hyping that the dude that I've always wanted to cheer for and wanted to succeed, he's gonna be the depth player for this roster to give Will Anderson maybe 2 plays off, so Will Anderson could be fresh to be a determinator he is. Maybe he gives Hunter 2 plays off, so he could be the Tasman Devil he is, and you keep everybody fresh. You know the amount of rotation this player can give you on his defense when you didn't have a weakness on his defense, and we kept saying who can it be for the end with Logan Hall. I kept saying he's more inside than outside, and it's really nice to have a hometown player that we rooted for and were drafted to come close the show out for us, and that's what we're looking for. I'm not trying to get Clowney 6 sacks. I'm not trying to get him 15 sacks. I don't want him to. He's not going to be the main dude like he that's going. Who's just as good as any best in the league on a second tier level. That's it. That's my spiel. I ain't got nothing to say. I told y'all before we going 17-0. So that's all that keeps me even more satisfied that I can bust out my Clown jersey again. That is signed. Rookie jersey that is signed. I can wear it on the 8th when I go to camp. I was thinking about not even going to camp, but now I'm definitely going to camp now.
Oh, the H-Town Rundown will be live in full effect. Brandon said it best. We're going 20-0, Jules. 20-0.
Hey, I'm talking about, yeah. I got you. But like I said, overall, and then you add in the signing from yesterday, the Mario Edwards signing. I don't know if he signed yesterday or signed today.
No, it was today.
It was
we got Clowney and Edwards.
So that even give you this defensive line is not a letdown at any time when you have your top 7 players, all are functional players and all hungry to prove that they are the best. So when you have guys taking 2 plays off, or one might be a nursing injury and he can't play for a game, and you don't want to rush him back because you have this all-time great defense, you have depth where you don't even take a step back if you miss a couple plays here and there. And that's just what you want. The rotation of this defensive line alone, there's not going to be a miss. There's not going to be an off play. Oh, Will Anderson's not here. We can run to the right. Know why? Because we got Clown on the side. We can't run the middle because, oh no, Jones and Togial is off the drain. But guess what? We got McDonald come back in. We got Edwards come back in. It sets you up
and we
where
got Jones.
And you got Jones. I'm a big fan of Jones. He's young, he's cheap, and he got something to prove. And I love big guys in the middle to stop the run. That's my vision of a 4-3. That's it,
bro. Clayton, you said it earlier. Just imagine. So imagine your defensive front, right? Where maybe you go 5. Let's say you put 5 down, right? And your 5 is Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, Jadeveon Clowney, Logan Hall, and then you in the middle you have a Caden McDonald, or you have a Tommy T, or you have a Sheldon Rankins in the middle of that package. You get what I'm saying? Like, just
Mm.
imagine if that's your package and you going up on third down, let's say it's 3rd and 18.
Oh,
You
that's
know what I'm saying?
you might as well listen. You might as well knee.
Right.
You might as well
Mind you,
knee.
you still have
Get off the field.
Derek Stingley in the back. You still have Kamari Lassiter in the back. You still have Kalen Bullock in the back. You still have Reed Blankenship. You still have Jalen Petrie. You still have Aziz. You still have Henry To'o. Like, all of this is still there on top of that and what's in front of him. So
I type of that. Imagine a 4th and goal or a 4th down stand, and it's like this. Look at your front you're gonna put there. You can put Clowney inside the ends with your big guys, and he's gonna stop the run. Your goal line defense or your 4th and 1 defense when the game's on lock, your goal line defense is stopped.
The NASA package.
I'm calling NASCAR. NASCAR.
Right. So man, we good. I mean, what you want to hear at this point, and we knew Clowney wasn't gonna sign until damn near training camp start. That's what he does. So I said it for 5 shows ago. I want Clowney to come back. We kept saying it, and we didn't really worry about it because why he didn't come back earlier? Because of money. Clowney was still at his age still a valuable starter. He wasn't gonna be a backup here until he wants with type money. He went to Baltimore Ravens to win a ring and be a starter, and he did that. Now he's like, okay, I'm comfortable being a backup. I was in Dallas last year. I was a backup. I still got my money. I can get $8 million here too to be a backup and get a ring and be part of the championship and bring a championship to Houston. It's a win-win, and they probably debated between him and Barnett. And when he agreed to take the same kind of money that Barnett was gonna get, it was a win-win.
Yeah. Definitely. Look, I'm gonna go to Brandon. He said also a thing I mentioned before. Clowney spent last season training against the Cowboys defense, and preparing for the NFC East, who he played this season. I mean, he met the Cowboys offense, yeah. And then he said Clowney can give Hunter and Will Anderson the most recent scoop on the Commanders, Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants tackles. I mean, and if you want to be real, the Eagles' offensive line is gonna take a dip this year. Giants. I mean, we know they've been having bad offensive line play.
Yeah.
And then
Thomas not always healthy.
Yeah, Cowboys. And then the Commanders. Yeah, they got Tunsil, but they ain't got nothing else.
Right.
So I mean, like this is scary. This is scary. This is scary. It's scary times right now. So
you understand again, if you're Josh Allen, you can play confident all you want to. You have played your worst football against probably one team. This one right here has made you look like a scrub, like a bum. Like as they say, if an alien got Howie Roseman, you got the Les Sneads, but Nick Caserio got to be easily top 5, top 6. Like take
without a ring. We mean top 2 top 2 GMs without a ring. Top 10.
Without a ring. Yeah, that's.
So this is the Julius. Shout out Julius. This is the thing with Nick Caserio, and I know we're going to give him credit, but Nick gets credit, but at the same time, I will always hold reservations with Nick Caserio because you can. Let me say this. You can have. I don't know if y'all watch these. These cooking shows with Gordon Ramsay and all this stuff like that, right? You can have a lot of all-star performances, but I'm telling you, he has a lot of what the hell moments when it comes as a GM.
Oh yeah.
And so I know a lot of GMs have it, and it's no, whatever, but Nick Caserio hasn't completed the trilogy of being for us to be super all the way complimentary of him being a GM. Howie Roseman, before he won the Super Bowl, was criticized a lot.
Oh, he was right. He was.
You know what I'm saying about the moves he made?
Took a lot of swings.
He took a lot of swinging. He had a lot of swinging misses, and it wasn't until He got the
The
Super
right
Bowl,
coach. Mhm.
the right coach, and they won the Super Bowl. Now
Mhm.
Howie Roseman is regarded as one of the greatest GMs in the NFL ever, right? So I don't know where the background comes from.
Well, to piggyback on you said, I think he will get his just due if not on the defense side, because it's always going to be D'Amico Ryans getting credit for defense. All the defensive players, the drafting, the developing, the coaching, he would never get credit for the defensive starters, draft picks, and free agency signups because everybody gonna say, "Well, it's D'Amico Ryan guy. D'Amico got him." He gonna get credit on that offensive line, especially this year. If that offensive line is put together with the players that he drafted with Cole Popovich and Nick
Mhm.
Cayley, and those four on that offense side come together and make this offense functional, and they win or five, then he
If we only got
huh?
four, we down bad, dog.
Oh, I'm just with those guys on the offense side of ball, with those guys putting the O line together, drafting a certain tight ends, getting back to receivers. If that side of the ball is 5 times better and functional, Nick Cassell will get more credit because he won't get no credit on these different side of the ball. That's how it's gonna play out.
Yeah, I mean, and let's be real. Nick Casario gets credit for Derek Stingley. I mean, and we're not gonna go too far into this, but
Yeah, that's
I don't give you credit for Derek Stingley.
Mhm.
I don't give you credit for Will Anderson Jr. I don't give you credit for C.J. Stroud. I don't give you credit for um, what's the other player we drafted high? It was Stingley, Will Anderson Jr.
I
Um,
think that's about it in the last couple of years because everybody's always in 20s or we traded out.
Mhm.
okay, I'm not and then again I'm not giving him credit for the Kamaris, the Kalins.
The Mickle
Um,
guys.
those are D'Amico guys.
Right.
The D'Amico draft picks. Even the now, only one I will give him credit for is the Danielle Hunter signing. I'll
I
give him
will
credit.
I'll give him credit for that one because I don't think that once he got Will Anderson that he kind of really D'Amico wanted another defense end. He might want a defense tackle. He might want another the linebacker. So I think that
Mhm.
I will give him credit for Hunter.
Yeah, but there's like Brandon said, will Casario have traded up for Will Anderson Jr. D'Amico for I'm gonna be real with y'all. And yeah, exactly, Julie. Those are all no brainers. So like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you credit because any other GM in the league would have drafted those guys. Like it
Right.
would have been exactly the same way. Like, no. Only thing is, I don't think D'Amico forced his hand to trade up for Will. I think if Nick Casario was operating on his own volition, Will Anderson would have been the pick at 2. And
Right.
I've said this for years when the trade and all that happened, which is why I was irritated, and which is why most of the fans were irritated by the trade itself, is
Mhm.
because, you know, and leading up to it, which, I ain't gonna lie, I was a Will Anderson Jr. hater. What was my favorite thing saying is that he's going to be all pro if he's unblocked.
Correct.
Because if you go, like I said, go back and we did film study at the time, going back and looking at Will Anderson at Alabama, 80% of his sacks came from him being unblocked.
And
Mhm.
he's still
Right.
in a wide 10.
Right. And he was in the wide 9, wide 10 and a half, 11, and all that. So it was just the point of like that was my little semi hate because and my hate, and I say it all the time, my hate was strictly based off of the Texans are going to pass on a quarterback.
Right.
Mhm.
And I was going to be like, you know what? When them people stood outside and was protesting for Deshaun Watson before they knew who Deshaun Watson was,
Right.
bruh. Yeah, no, do we give him Petrie? I'll give him Petrie.
Yeah, I'm about to say you give him Petrie.
I give him
Mm,
Petrie, but
You give him Petrie.
I attribute Lovey Smith and D'Amico Ryans more to Petrie. I mean than him.
yeah.
Mike G was talking about he hellified on block. Yes, shout out
Yeah.
Mike G. But it's just the point of going back and saying I don't want to fully commit to being like a full supporter of Nick Casario until the
Mhm.
Texans complete the job and win the Super Bowl.
Right.
And we can go forward after that. Y'all have any additional comments on that?
Yeah, like I said, and the late round defensive tackles of last year, like we said earlier, that we weren't very healthy towards the end when it comes to defense tackles. He got the Joneses, the Fulas, the other Samoans. He got Togial come back a couple years ago. Those kind of orders I can give him a little credit for because
Mhm.
their guys were out there and they signed them. But when it comes to the big defensive players that was drafted since D'Amico was here, he don't get credit for. But he gonna get credit for Ursery. He get credit for Rutledge. He get credit for Klein. He'll get credit for all those offensive line players because that's what his side of the ball is. So we'll
Mhm.
see. I say I'm there with Clayton. I say I give him top 5 of GMs have not won a Super Bowl at this point because I still hold hard for the signing.
He's, and then at the last minute you see Lovie Smith, and it's like, wait, what? He didn't even interview. Like, what?
Right.
So,
He was in the
but I think
building.
it goes, yeah, and I think it goes back to AD's point, which is that was an era where it definitely seemed like, and again, we weren't in those rooms. I'm taking it,
Yeah.
I'm spitballing here. You can question, okay, was that Casario kind of left to his own volition to kind of do his own thing or do what he thought was right, right?
Mhm.
Until he got more guys who could look at him eye to eye and say, like, no, sir. Like Lovie Smith was kind of I think the beginning of that, where Lovie Smith can make some things move, right? He had the
Right.
gravitas, he had the cachet, he
Yeah.
had the league wide respect. Like
Hmm.
you weren't about to son him. Like he old
Right.
enough to be your dad / grandfather type stuff. Like multiple pelts on the wall. Like you're not doing that. Heck, Lovie Smith helped get Jack Easterby up out of here. So that lets you know the kind of impact Lovie Smith kind of had, low key. And then you get D'Amico Ryan too. You gave him a 6-year contract. You gave D'Amico Ryan a 6-year contract off rip. And you're not about to mess over the hometown hero, like the kid who was drafted here and heck,
Yeah.
who came back here to save a sputtering franchise. So I think once that era kind of stopped, I think 80, to your point, that's where, if it was happening, Casario was forced to no longer kind of like act in an echo chamber,
Yeah.
and he
Okay.
had to collaborate,
Good
right?
pull.
So I
Good pull.
think you could argue that point and say, okay, that mess, if it was happening, that surely stopped at Lovey to
Yeah.
D'Amico.
Right.
And now you got the balance. Before
Yeah.
that, it was just Casario running everything, and then you get to Josh McCown, a
Yeah.
very like I'm smarter than you kind of move. Watch this.
Yeah.
So that's how I took that. I could be
Mm.
wrong, but that's kind of how I look at that whole situation.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And sometimes you got to stop people from themselves.
Yep.
Bill O'Brien.
Like we've seen it before, Bill O'Brien.
Failing upwards.
Yeah.
That's
Feeling
um,
what it
upwards.
is.
yeah,
Failing upwards.
like I've never seen anybody. Yeah, that's wild.
Fail upwards.
Yeah.
But
That works.
like it's kind of a situation where
Dang, man,
you
I'm so sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but I mean, dang, bro, he couldn't wait to trade D Hop, bro. I'm sorry, I got to get that off. He couldn't
yeah.
wait to do that. Like as soon as he was able to, he was like, "Oh yeah, yes sir, yeah, I'm about to get you up out of here." Yeah, like
And that, look, that was
Every team in this schedule is gonna get this knife.
oh god,
look. But
Every team.
look, going back to it, like because there was a Bill O'Brien discussion earlier on the Spaces as well. But Bill O'Brien is an enigma of Texas history. We
Yes.
gotta, it was so much hope that failed.
Hmm.
It seemed like everything that went right immediately went wrong right after. So that lore of Bill O'Brien, we can move past it, but I do want to quickly talk about the training camp from yesterday.
Okay.
Clayton did extensive. He did a live yesterday, and then he also had some clips and talked about it. But Jules, you weren't there. You were out working, but me and Clayton was there, and we saw a lot of good things. I will say, and this is my perspective, I feel like the run game will be a lot better than it was last year.
mm-hmm.
Nobody's really talking about it, but Jawar Jordan, shout out, I think Jonathan
Nasty.
Alexander said it. Jawar Jordan, to me, had the best day of all the running backs
He was nasty.
in camp.
That man was looking shifty.
And for all you British Brooks lovers,
Hey, he got
I
a
hate to
catch.
break it to you.
He caught a ball.
Huh?
Special teams, buddy.
Clayton,
Special teams.
Clayton, when did you see? How many team periods was it before British Brooks saw the field?
I ain't say all that. I said he caught a pass.
All right.
I said he got one.
So
I saw the
we
jersey
we
44. I said, all right, cool.
We saw Pittsburgher. before we
Yeah, he
saw British
took one to the
Brooks.
house. He showed it. Yeah.
Well,
So
British Brooks roster spot is gonna be on the line if Klein actually shows up to be what he's supposed to be, because that's gonna put Coast over at H back. I mean
I'm just
fullback.
I'm just replying to Brandon, but no,
Yeah,
no, not at all. Um, no, but to your point, I mean, it really is dependent on the Texans want to carry a fullback or not,
yeah,
Mhm.
and then it still depends on if they feel K Stover has made more strides at fullback than you know than British Brooks. At the end of the day, if you want to do a quarterback sneak or a tush push or whatever,
This is gonna
we've
be
used
Stover.
K Stover in that role.
yeah.
Yeah, gonna be
You're
Stover.
not using British Brooks in that role.
Mm-mm.
So, and you're not using CJ Stroud in that role. So,
But when you
um,
got Rutledge,
yeah,
you can move the power.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, like the things it's going to be dependent on what they want to do. Going again, I feel like the defensive line, Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter, are going to be a serious problem from any and everybody. There are some things defensively that I saw, like the Daniil Hunter dropping back in coverage,
Right.
on certain packages. Reed Blankenship and Jalen Petrie both in the box
Hmm.
consistently. Where we had, single high with Kalen Bullock as a single high
Mhm.
safety in most packages.
Mhm.
You're going to see a lot of fluidity and movement with the defense. They are going to be as advertised and better.
Right.
Um, as far as offensively, like I said, the running game is going to be better. CJ Stroud looked better. There were a lot of drop passes in practice, and that was sad to see. Thankfully, none from Nico.
Yeah.
Thankfully, none from Tank, even though Tank played us for a fool, and we all thought he was going to be out there practicing. Tank went out there in his jersey and had his helmet on, and then next thing you know, Tank is out walking out of practice, signing autographs on the way out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With no.
So we, didn't do anything, so we're probably not gonna see Tank for a while. Lewis Bond made some plays. I mean, Lewis Bond is gonna be a guy to really watch and to really see progress during training camp, especially with the Jalen Noel injury.
Steve Smith said wide receiver 4 to wide receiver 5.
Yeah,
Agent
which
89 said 4. I said wide receiver 6.
yeah,
Agent 89 said 4 to 5. So I mean, hey,
Well, if
take
he if
that.
he if he blocks well, it's gonna be key if he blocks, because
no,
we know X can block.
don't get me started on Jerry Wayne.
No, we're not doing the
Listen,
Jaron Wayne thing. We're not going to
and you
I
know
do
the
the
don't
funny
Robert
I
thing
Hunt.
don't
is,
care what nobody says. You can say Henry Tortoy or Henry Noah, whatever y'all want to call him. Y'all can do all of that. I'm putting the blame on Jerry Wayne.
We're
Derek
not.
Stingley got in a collision at practice, and he was down for about a good 15 to 20 seconds. And they not gonna say it. We're gonna say it here on the H Town Rundown. The Derek Stingley had a concussion. He had a
he got
concussion from the hit,
Yeah.
and he went to the tent, and he did come back out in practice. But at the end of the day, I'm not putting it on anybody but Jared Wayne. Anytime there's some tragic or some crazy going on in practice
Jared
and
Wayne
it's
is right
injury
there.
related, Jared Wayne is in the vicinity. It's like he got a little juju or whatever you want to call it, a little sprinkle of old, hex or whatever. He gotta go, dog. Jared Wayne and then he dropped 3 balls at practice, 3 passes. He got to go. Jared Wayne got to go. Okay, and I'm gonna stand on it. We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna say it every doggone podcast until Jared Wayne is gone. And I promise you, see, Clay, you wasn't around. We had funerals. We had funeral spaces. Everything that went on in practice.
I wasn't gonna say it, bro, because I thought it was a tight end. I thought, oh man, who was that tight end number 89? Okay, cool. He caught the pass, dime, right? Look, CJ threaded the needle, right? Like I couldn't even enjoy the ball that he threw because all I heard was and then the back of Sting's head hit the turf. That's all I could get out of that. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, look, holistically in practice, my first thought was, look, the defense did what it does. The defense was disruptive. The offense really could not do much, and that's going to happen. D'Amico kind of said it. I mean, every offense is going to struggle. But as far as what the offense was able to do, I mean, look, you had some nice completions, right? Dalton Schultz got in on the action. Nico Collins, of course, he made some plays. Lewis Bond got in there. David Montgomery, he burst a long run between the tackles. He looked nice. Woody Marks, I liked how sharp he looked. Even though he wasn't house calling the ball, he still looked great in between the tackles. Looked decisive, looked quick, looked agile. So that was great. You mentioned Jawar Jordan. I mean, I'm like, yeah, nah. And I am the guy. Look, I'll take it. I'm the guy who's been talking about Noah Whittington and all these things and like RB3. Jawar Jordan, man, showed me like, okay, yeah, he probably needs to go ahead and be on the field because you can easily see Woody, Jawar, screen game, flat route, that kind of thing, extending plays, being that hot route for CJ Stroud, and being able to give you nice yard at the catch, run at the catch ability. Of course, the scuffles that were out there for those who saw, it was at least two where it got intense. And I want to say Rutledge was in the middle of a couple of them. I don't know if it was Aziz, I don't know if it was McDonald, but some skirmishes going on. But that's kind of where it's at. It was hot. The guys are competing, so there's that. Let's see what else. I mean, would I have liked to see more from the offense if I'm nitpicking? Yes. CJ was sacked a couple times. We talked about how Daniil basically. That's what I'm saying. Like, no, I'm being generous. Like, no. But the fact is, how much can you successfully play offense when the very first snap of the very first, team series, you got Daniil Hunter in your lap? Like, Ariante got blown up because Daniil Hunter basically dismantled the entire first series for the ones, right? So there's that. Oh, shout out Kamari Ramsey, right? He got himself an interception. Now it was with the twos.
80s guy.
Oh yeah, look, hey, I was hyped for Kamari Ramsey. He's a guy who was highly touted out of USC. A lot of people trying to figure out why the heck he fell. So there's that. What?
I don't know.
That's the Trojans. The Trojans.
Oh, okay. So yeah, educate me. I thought you were trying
Y'all
to say
hold on, man. Come on now. Y'all don't know the Trojans?
That's the only fingers I know. The only two fingers I know.
Why y'all fingers be broke all the time?
But nah, man. So he got an interception off Davis Mills. And for some reason, I posted that video. For some reason, I posted that video of Kamari Ramsey picking off Davis Mills on TikTok, and it started like a whole Davis Mills civil war. I don't know why, but
because you can't say anything bad about the future wannabe starter to the Davis Millites. They still think he can start.
Bro, the very first comment I noticed was like, "Yeah, where the Davis Mills lovers at now, huh? Yeah."
Right. To a backup, to a rookie guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, shout out Kamari Ramsey. He made a play. And it's just great, right? When you see that defense, like they truly, those guys love each other, man. Like anytime those guys make a play, you see dudes waving towels, hopping on the field, shouting each other out. Stupid. Nah, man. So, all in all, man, you just saw guys making plays. That's what I like to see. And I guess one of my final points, I'm trying to think anything on offense I want to kind of talk about. I mean, it's not really. I mean, the 1D pass I saw to Nico Collins that CJ Stroud attempted. I mean, Kamar Lassiter was in Nico Collins' hip pocket, straps. So, So, yeah, man. I mean.
And then, hold on. Did you see the next play? The very next play, Kalen Bullock made a hell of a
over the middle,
defense against Xavier Hutchinson.
I saw that. And what I was going to say about that was it was connected to my thoughts on Reed Blankenship, which is Reed Blankenship. And arguably, of course, I'm not breaking any news here. He's the best safety that Kalen has played opposite of since he's been in Houston. Can you imagine a more unlocked Kalen Bullock? I personally believe that Kalen Bullock is talented enough to be a second-team All-Pro, at least. I looked at the numbers. I compared like McKinney and Bates the third, all these guys. Like, yeah, they had the tackle numbers. I want to say I forgot who, but like pick six numbers. So Bullock, with him not being like the raw tackler that some of these guys are, like McKinney, Bullock, right, exactly. Like Brandon kind of said it. I know we kind of inflated that number, but no, I'm so serious. I made a piece about this and I said, if Bullock is going to be all pro, if his primary strength is deep third safety, kind of covering those kind of things, he's going to have to break the Texans single season pick record of 7, right? So that's kind of going to be his thing. But I'm just imagining a world where Kalen Bullock can be deployed, the ball hawk that he is, right? Trusting Reed to not blow his assignment. I can be ranging. I can play over the middle. I can go and take these chances, right? And come away with the football because I know my guy is not gonna, be out of position. And he has not had that. So that makes this whole, like you said earlier, AD, that makes everything scary. Like that's what's happening on a game, on a play-by-play basis. So to see Kalen make that, pass breakup over the middle, that close to the line of scrimmage, oh yeah, if you're doing that now, then yeah, I don't know what you about to do.
So
I
I
don't know what you're
for
gonna do.
so the guys who didn't go to camp and guys who are getting not information from y'all, can what's the biggest question? Is it still RB? I mean, wide receiver two. Can
No,
someone?
no.
Can
Wide receiver
somebody?
two.
Hmm?
Go ahead and finish.
But can somebody step up to be a legitimate wide receiver two threat, not just a good body or a good somebody, but I should be a threat at wide receiver two. Has
Oh no, I
anybody
mean
like
it's
sure?
it's Higgins. That's Higgins.
It's
Higgins
against
is gonna
okay.
be yeah, Higgins is
Mhm.
gonna be the guy. And like I don't have any doubt about Higgins, even though I, jokingly used to say, before last season he's wide receiver six and people don't, you say one thing one time, they're gonna run with it for the rest of your life.
Mhm.
But Higgins, is going to be that guy and he's improved. He's improved. And like I was explaining to people yesterday, like on the space we had right after camp and we were talking about it, it was a lot of players that didn't get a lot of reps. Higgins didn't get a lot of reps.
Mhm.
You know, Taylor didn't get a lot of reps.
Yeah,
Um,
but he ain't got to
he
Taylor.
don't have to. And then, I mean, you didn't see much of, many, the offensive lineman period. It was kind of spotty here and there, and they had a lot of rotations. But Taylor, you didn't see much of him. You didn't see much of Higgins. You didn't see much of Nico. Especially as the team periods went on and on.
Mm.
Oh, you already know I motivate one all day, every day. But it is big. He said, bigger question is who would relish fist fight that day. I mean, the fight I think was McDonald and Weewu got into it
Okay.
after, and it was Rutledge and I think it was either Dominique Robinson or one of those D ends, D ends that Rutledge got into it with. And then it spiraled off to McDonald and we will get into it after that.
Mm.
Um,
We will.
but but all in all, like you're going to see a lot of competition and stuff like that. But as far as like the Nuggets and stuff like that, and I'll tell people this: do not be nervous, concerned, or worried about Rutledge not taking any snaps at center.
Mhm.
Because if I'm not mistaken, Clayton, correct me if I'm wrong, Rutledge took 0 snaps at center. It was Evan Brown and Jake Andrews took all the center snaps.
Yeah, I saw
At
that.
training.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw those tweets were going out. Andrews are getting some looks. Yeah, like I said, heavy rotations. They were just doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I think that you saw more of Rutledge at guard and rotating in and out of guard because of Taylor having a light day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so definitely am encouraged by it. By what I've seen, I think that it's a lot of more. This camp was a lot more aggressive. For the open practice, so I think you're going to see a lot more aggression. Coming in. So trust and believe there will be more fights at the camp. So just be prepared. Um, I will point out these players. Ingram, the DB that we brought back, looked well. He had probably the best looking interception
Mhm.
um, against Graham Mertz in the later
Mhm.
periods. And then Elijah Huzzy is
Mhm.
Yeah.
is going to be I will say this right now, he's definitely making the roster. And he is legit the Jalen Petrie reserve backup. So
Mhm.
again, knock on wood, knock on glass, knock on metal, knock on everything. If anything were to happen to Jalen Petrie, I
Mhm.
will say this: I feel very comfortable with Elijah Huzzy stepping in for Jalen Petrie. That's how confident I am in Huzzy's ability as the next nickelback behind Jalen Petrie.
Mhm.
I think that Ingram, Jalen Smith, Jalen Reed, all of those three guys are going to really put, a lot of emphasis is making this roster as well. I
Mhm.
think the secondary is going to be something to watch going forward.
So we just need linebacker help with
I
the
mean,
two guys. The two guys
I'm
we
gonna
went out.
be I'm gonna be honest with you, Jules. Only thing you would have to be concerned about at linebacker is if doggone Aziz or Henry get hurt or out for, and what should I say, hurt? When I say hurt, or out for an extended period of time, meaning more than 2 or 3 games. Then I feel like you should be concerned with the linebacker position, because I'm gonna be honest with you, watching that camp, there isn't going to be more than 2 linebackers on the field at a time. Jalen Petrie and doggone Reed Blankenship are going to be in the box so much that you're going to see them be the pseudo linebackers for this defense. So I'm not, too much concerned about who's going to be linebacker 3 or whatever. If you want to plop in Jamal Hill or you want to plop in Woodaz or whatever, I feel like they're going to be competent for a few games. But only time I would be concerned, and I think that's when the Texans will make a move at linebacker, like a major move, is if, God forbid, again, knock on wood, this is the 3rd time I had to bring up an injury, but God forbid Henry or Aziz get injured for 6+ games. Then we will be in the concern mode or whatever, trying to find it. But I think they're at a point now where they're comfortable in trying to develop the younger guys in Woodaz and Jalen and Jamal Hill and Aiden Fisher, and they bring in guys like Taki as well. But he's going to me, I think he's a replacement for Hummel, who I don't know what's going on with Hummel. They haven't said anything about Hummel, but I'm not sure if Hummel is going to be on this team much longer. Right. And then I think Jake Hansen's injury may be bigger than what they're making it out to be. But Josh is saying, so nobody will. No, come on, bro. No. Yeah, you're going to hear a lot more about Huzzy in a little bit too. Right. He's talking about Higgins being utilized.
Yeah, I need more than that, though. We need more than that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're going to get more out of Higgins this year for sure. But yeah, y'all got any final thoughts before we close it on out and pick it back up?
I'm good. Like I said, my question was wide receiver 2, and I did see one play where we actually threw Nico Collins a high ball in the end zone to use his height, and we've been screaming for that for what, 3 or 4 years.
Talking about the hospital ball?
No, he threw it for a touchdown, and only Nico can get it.
Yeah, no,
and that's what you're looking for. Okay, but because we've been asking for years, why we don't never throw any 50-50 balls or a high point ball when Nico, you could use his 6'4" length to bring it down. But I did see one play like that, and I was encouraged seeing that. And that's the only thing we worry about the offense. The defense is pretty much we don't take it for granted. And that's what Texas fans need to realize. We're not taking it for granted. We know all we got is great stars. He's depth and everything. They still got to play and they still got to be healthy. But we're not really worried about this defense at all. We worry about this offense, and the offense can be put together and be comfortable.
Yeah, for sure, man. But again, yeah, look, it's gonna be a hell of a ride. And we will be there going forward. So, like I said, the H-Town Rundown next event will be at. So, if you want to see us at the H-Town Rundown, join us at the training camp on Saturday the 8th. And we will all be there. And you'll see Ruben and Harley. They'll be at every training camp. They'll be there tomorrow. So shout out if you. Stresses will be there too.
Real quick. I don't know the guy's name. I hate that I don't. Y'all both actually, Jules, you're not on X like that, which is good for you. Stay healthy. Our guy was.
Are you talking about Lamar?
Was getting roasted.
Yeah. Shout out Lamar.
So
look,
yeah,
man, I'm gonna say this, and we can end it after this.
He was getting,
and y'all take it for how y'all want to take it. Do not let the white guilt ruin.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that, man. What did you mean by that? Because
I'm gonna say this, and look, and again, I'm gonna say it because, and I'm not trying to offend anybody. If y'all get offended, I mean, it is what it is. It's just a realistic situation that it is that at the end of the day, the Texans media team has spun this narrative to make Lamar a villain, right? Lamar, at the end of the day, the Texans put this out saying any fan, hey, this is where we're going to put the hat. Whoever gets to it first wins it, right? It's a competition,
Right.
right? At the end of the day, he was faster. He got to the spot first, and he got the hat.
Talking about box out form. That
He
man
boxed him out. At the end of the day,
The hat
grown or
wasn't in
not,
his hands. He didn't snatch the hat at the boy's hands.
right?
No,
the
he
way
didn't snatch
people
out
are
his
making
hand.
it, the way people are making it seem like is that the kid had it and he said, "Yank, give me that hat." No, he boxed the hat out. He boxed the kid out and got the hat. At the end of the day,
Life lessons.
ice up. Exactly.
Life lessons.
Oh no!
Let me tell you this. When I say the white guilt, and I know it's controversial when I say it because some people are going to feel some type of way. We may lose a subscriber or two behind it, but it's the honest to God truth. Look at the people who were in such an outrage
Wow.
when the video came out. Right? It was the people from the islands of Caucasus that were extremely outraged that a guy and calling him a piece of crap, and they didn't use the word crap. And
Somebody got him that hard? I thought it was like they were just talking about it. Somebody was really going after him like that.
Dude, you didn't see the quote tweets on it? Go check the quote tweets from the Texans.
Mel Karens.
Shame on that admin who painted this guy out to be a villain and spun this whole situation out to make him a villain. Because if we met the guy in person, this guy is an upstanding guy. This guy's an educator. This guy is, a very, very well-spoken person and is not in his heart. And he didn't share it, but I'm going to share it for him. He spoke with the parents of the kid in question. The parents had no qualms or problems or issues. The parents and Lamar came to an agreement that the Texans themselves spun this narrative to make him a villain of a situation, right? Parents don't have an issue with Lamar. The kid don't have an issue with Lamar. So all those people crying about the situation should not have an issue with Lamar. If you're sitting up here doing all this, y'all gotta chill. Because at the end of the day, if y'all was in that situation and let's not even use a hat. Let's just say this was a bag and this bag had 10K in it. You telling me you not boxing out a kid for 10K, or you gonna get, if you box out a kid and you say, oh damn, the kid was gonna get it, so I'm gonna give this 10,000 to this kid.
Oh, AD, real quick. You mind if I look? I got the clip right here. You mind if I share it? For those who haven't seen it, I got it right here. Here you go. I got it right there. So I didn't even notice this. Yeah.
You see, Lamar, first of all, kid, you gotta be faster than that. You gotta be faster than that.
So let's all 22. Hold on, let's go back. Okay, so
first of all, look how far Lamar was outside.
So good form, and then he did look. I don't even know where he came from. He
cut him off. He just cut the run off.
Bro, look at that. Look at that. Boom. The kid's there.
The kid tried to block him off though.
Yeah.
It was bang bang, man. It was.
He got there. First of all, the kid had a head start. Yeah, it's the Texans, bro.
That's it.
Hey, Brandon, just so you know, yes, they are doing everything earlier. They're doing everything earlier. So if they say gates open at 6, gates open at 5, like the park.
Yeah. No, people got there like I heard like 11 the night before, either scoping out, recon, whatever. But
Ruben and Harley were there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So just so y'all know, if y'all kid about to work on that 40 time, look, bro. Hey, he had a lead. You saw Lamar come out the picture around
Bro,
and cut him
Lamar
off.
wasn't
Like,
even in the. I didn't. Lamar was not even in the shot. He just came out of nowhere. It just. It. Look. Okay. Look. I'll make 2 points, and I'll let it go. First of all, on hindsight, I'm like, maybe I should have brought this up, but no. So first point about that is like, look, I hate that in this sports bubble that we have, the stereotype about the average sports fan is going to be gutter mouth, gutter minded, we're unable to have critically thought out, articulate conversation about things we disagree upon, right? Like, I don't like that. That's the connotation. I don't like that. Even in something like this, if you don't appreciate the fact that he got to the hat before, the young man did, there was a way to respectfully bring that up to honor his personhood. So,
all that kid was spinning like Sengun.
So absolutely. So again, as we say to kids, 2 wrongs will make a right. If you don't like what Lamar did, okay, fine. But for you to talk about Lamar like he's less than a person, like he's basically calling this man everything except a human being, then of course you're just as
Everything
wrong.
but a child of God.
Right. You're just as wrong as then what you're trying to accuse Lamar out to be. Second thing about that is, oh yeah, national media. Yeah, Brandon said national media, and I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a chance it's still probably not over. Sometimes it takes time for stuff to trickle out. Look, outside of that, man. Yeah, of course. I would say on second watch, it's like, all right, it's kind of but it's not like you said, he pushed the kid over, snatched the hat, then stunned it on him. He didn't do that. Like, it was bang bang. Lamar did shoot out there, and normally another adult would have been like, all right, kid, you got it, right? The t-shirts are throwing out at camp. A lot of kids were getting it, that kind of thing. That wasn't Lamar. He said, shoot, that's my hat.
But again, in the moment, when you're in that moment, in that split second, how are you to decipher? How are you to decipher that's a kid versus an adult? You know what I mean?
Oh,
but at the end of the day,
all you saw was the jersey. All you saw was the jersey. If it's a grown man, not.
What if that was an adult and not a kid?
Oh, they wouldn't have cared.
But I'm saying that's my whole point. Is that in that split second you don't know. But again, we're making more out of it than it needs to be, because at the end of the day, shame on y'all. Because I say this, the people that comment about it a lot really come from a place of privilege. Meaning they're always the one where you got to give the kids everything. The kids don't, at the end of the day, kids got to get it. Kids, give it to the kids, give it to the kids, give it to the kids. I'm from the school of, if you ain't earn it, if you didn't work for it, if you didn't box that man out, if you felt like you wanted that bad, you should have fell on that man's knee and made him go down to the ground and took it from him. If you wanted that hat that bad, you should have fought for it. Right? And I'm not saying physically fight, but bro, at the end of the day, and this is just me and my old school personality and my old school feeling. I don't appreciate the ceremonial trophies. I don't appreciate the, participation trophies. I don't appreciate none of that. If you didn't work for it, if you didn't earn it, you don't get it, which is the way life is. So, dive like Paula did Brady. Old school Texans know about that. Look, exactly. Look, man, I don't give a fuck them kids. But call like at the end of the day, don't try to be in a grown man competition if you ain't willing to get boxed out by a grown man. At the end of like it's just the point.
I'm gonna be
but it's just the point. Like, this is me. Y'all can be mad at me all you want to. I don't care. I care about the children very much so. But I'm not, again, I say, what if that was money? What if that was $10,000? They have these companies. There's a actual page on Instagram that actually puts money out, and they hide money around Houston, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if that was money? What if that was a life-changing amount of money for somebody? You're gonna sit up here and be like that changes the perception, right? If it's money involved, right? If it's an object like a hat, then we got to be like, okay, we got to give it to the kid. Like at the end of the day, the hat is probably worth what, $200, $300 at the most, probably. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what if that was real money? What if the hat had money inside the hat? I'm supposed to just give up free money for a kid to go buy some for the kid to go buy some off of PlayStation Network, or to go buy it off of Xbox or something, or go buy a game or something with it, when that could have been a bill or something for me.
I thought we're getting kind of deep.
Good night, fellas. Good night, fellas.
F them kids.
The man got the hat. It is what it is. He got the boy got a autograph situation.
Okay. One said it too. What if they had 2 tickets to the opening game inside the hat?
It'd have been a fight for everybody. A grown man, they've been fighting in.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. One say that's my GTA 6 money.
All right, I'm out.
We close. Hold on. We closing out. We done. We done. At the end of the day, man. Shout out to Lamar. Y'all need to stop scrutinizing him. Leave that man alone. Stop putting that white guilt on that man. Stop doing it. Again, y'all, appreciate y'all for tuning in for another. This is AD. We coming out the mud. This is another episode out the mud. But no, this has been another episode. You say you think these cars are free? It's talking about GTA. But again, appreciate y'all for joining. Over 200 y'all watching live. Appreciate y'all coming in, watching us live. Breaking news: the Houston Texans brought back Jadeveon Clowney. Also brought back Mario Edwards as well. Signed him today as well. So the Houston Texans defense gets even stronger. So again, appreciate each and every one of y'all for joining another episode of the H-Time Rundown. This is your boy AD with my co-host Clayton and Jules. We will see y'all on the next episode, man. Peace.